Good afternoon and welcome to the 2012 awards for the Upward Bound Summer Residential Phase. On behalf of Ohio University Patton College and the Upward Bound program, I would like to welcome all invited guests here today. That includes parents, friends, family, board member, Dr. Conley, Assistant Dean for Engagement at the Patton College of Assistant Dean for Student Affairs at the Patton College of Education, Maureen Kuhn, Dr. Connie Patterson and her husband Steve. Dr. Patterson is our keynote speaker today. So if you go, give them a hand of applause for coming to be with us. Thank you. We're a little squeezed in here, but it took a lot of effort to even get this room for the summer. We've had a rough summer, as some of you may know, but we've been working through it, and this is one of the processes where we are working through it. So bear with us for the crumb space. But a lot of work went into having everybody here, having the food, having the place set up, having the music going. And I would be remiss if I don't thank the Upward Bound staff who've put a lot of effort into this. So I'd like to first of all thank Mr. Kirk Plummer. Mr. Plummer, can you stand? The Upward Bound Residential Life staff, can you all stand so everybody sees you? And the people who are not going, the instructors, can you all stand? Now parents, if your kid doesn't get to go on the trip, these are the people you can blame, not me. So all instructors, please stand. And then you see a couple of people with the cameras taking pictures and taking video. Mr. Dobo and Garrett, they have agreed to help us, so thank you for that. And then there's one more person. She's had a really tough summer with us. I would like to have her stand up also. Her name is Jennifer. If you call our office, she's the person you talk to. So Jennifer, please stand. So, now to the tough part. Today's program, if you've looked at your program, we have it on there that we're dedicating today's program to the memory of Dr. Ray Skinner. There's a blue, we have a single half sheet on all the tables that talks a little bit about Dr. Skinner. For those of you who don't know, Upward Bound came to Ohio University in 1967. And Dr. Skinner was the first person who wrote the grant along with Dr. Boyd, and they brought the Upward Bound program here. So this program has been going for almost 45 years. This summer, Dr. Skinner passed away last week, Sunday. He's been a really great supporter of the program. He instituted the Upward Bound Scholar Athlete Award, and that's a $1,000 award we normally give to our graduating seniors, otherwise known as our bridge students when they're going off to college. It's an award he instituted while he was alive, and he's asked people to make donations in his honor, in his stead. So we are dedicating today's program to him. So to respect that, I will invite all of you to just stand with me so we can honor Dr. Skinner for all his hard work for Upward Bound in a minute of silence, and then we can continue with the program. Thank you. Okay. So now, we've not forgotten all about you. If you're here to support an Upward-bound student, in whatever shape or form, please stand again. If you're a parent, if you're a friend, if you're a brother, if you're a family member, and you're here to support an Upward-bound parent, please stand. Let's give them a hand of applause. We want to thank you for all the dedication you've shown to your students, because it's very key. Without your support, your students won't be here, and without you working with us, we will not be able to work with your students. At this point, I'm going to invite Mr. D.C. Moore to come up and introduce our keynote, Dr. Patterson, and we'll continue the program. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is D.C. Moore. I'm the Academic Advisor for Upward Bound, and I would like to introduce the keynote speaker, Dr. Connie Patterson. Dr. Connie Patterson is the Director of Assessment and Academic Improvement for the Patton College of Education in Ohio University. She also serves as a part-time faculty member in the counseling program in the Department of Counseling in Higher Education. Dr. Patterson received her Bachelor of Arts degree in Psychology in 2001 from Ohio University, her Master of Science degree in Rehabilitation Counseling in 2003 from the Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago, and her PhD in Counselor Education in 2006 from Ohio University. Dr. Patterson is the first-generation college student. Her father served in the U.S. Air Force for 33 years, and her mother was a stay-at-home mom. Her older brother attended a vocational school for welding, and her younger brother attended Bowling Green State University for computer science. She is married to Dr. Steve Patterson, who is a faculty member in psychology at Ohio University, and they have twin girls who are almost 7 months old. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Dr. Connie Patterson.
Hello, everyone. I was telling people that I'm typically not nervous talking in front of a crowd, but when the microphone is here, it makes it much more formal. I would much rather be out here walking around, engaging you, getting close to you, not allowing you to, avoid eye contact. But I'm going to do my best to keep my voice as calm as possible standing in front of a microphone. So before I get started, I'm just curious, first of all, can you hear me okay when I'm... Okay, because I can definitely hear myself more when I'm facing the microphone. For the Upward Bound students that are here today, I'm just trying to get a guess as to ages that are here. How many of you are like sophomores, maybe going into your junior year? Is there anyone younger than that? Any freshmen? Awesome. Anyone younger than that? 8th graders? Okay, so it starts at 9th grade. So we've got 9th graders, 10th, bring them up, be proud. 10th grade, 11th, 12th, and how many are starting college in the fall? Woo! Good for you. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to say today, I was thinking about what I would have heard when I was a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, or a senior. What would have made sense to me, what would have been interesting to me. I've been through a couple of graduations, and whether it was high school or college graduations, sometimes the speakers were engaging and sometimes you start going like this. So I hope to be engaging. And so I was thinking about what I might want to say, and my husband and I were talking about this, and we got to thinking, how do we go about being in our world, and what kinds of things stick with us, and there's stories. We as a civilization have been storytellers. Even before we started documenting history, we tell stories. Those stories are passed on. For those of you who are going to be starting college for the first time in your family, this is a new story for you, and a really exciting one. And so if you wouldn't mind, I would like to share with you my story. And hopefully there are elements to this story that might connect with you in a way that you feel like you can relate to. things that might be able to be inspiring to you, things that you might want to do, things that you might connect to. As was introduced in my bio, my family, my dad was in the Air Force. He has a high school diploma. He was, in addition to the Air Force, he worked as a civil servant and was a laborer. He had taken some college courses in a community college, but was always to better himself in his career, to, maybe for a promotion or for a raise. But he was primarily the breadwinner of the family. He was the one who made the money, who would go on missions in the weekends and fly to make extra money for the family, and my mom primarily stayed at home. My dad jokes when he's with people who are higher ups, who are the suits, that he has his PhD from CSU, which is Common Sense University. And he doesn't necessarily say he doesn't say Common Sense University, so there are people who sometimes think he actually has a PhD, and he goes along with it, and that's great. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She did when I was very young, or when I was until about maybe 10 or 11, they did own a couple of ice cream stores, so that was kind of a fun time when I was a child to start to learn the business aspect, start dipping ice cream for customers, starting to learn how to make change for customers when they would buy some ice cream. But primarily, my mom was very much the role of the maternal caretaker in our family. She cooked, she cleaned, and it was never really a goal of hers to go to college. And that was okay, that's what she wanted to do. It was never something that I found myself wanting to do. I wanted to do something else, I just wasn't sure what it was. My older brother, like he said, he went to a vocational school for welding, and it took him a little while to find his passion. He failed his freshman year, his sophomore year, his junior year, and his senior year of high school. Each year he had to go to summer school to make up the credit so that he could keep going, and he was a year held back. But once he found his passion, then he was able to stick with it and become successful. And then my younger brother he went to Bowling Green, and he took a pretty traditional route and is doing quite well for himself now. So my story, I grew up in the ice cream business, and then, elementary, middle school, pretty standard, nothing really stand out. My freshman year in high school was pretty tough. I was bullied pretty significantly. It was pretty impactful in my life because I really know now who I don't want to become. And I don't know why they chose me. I'm sure there were other people who they chose to kind of pick on, more severe than just pick on, but we won't go into that story. But it really impacted me. It really kind of opened my eyes to that experience. And so fortunately, just by chance, my family moved after my freshman year. So I got to kind of start over at a new school. And so I wanted to start over in a way that was, I was always kind to people. Just anything that I thought I may have done wrong that caused this, I wasn't going to be that person. So I started paying attention more in school, started, like I said, being kinder to people and just trying to kind of fit into this small school. And this was in Upper Sandusky, Ohio, Northwest Ohio. And I remember when I was a senior, so fast forward a couple years, when I was a senior, it was ACT day. So we had all taken our ACTs, and we were in our English class, and they passed out the envelopes with the scores. And we're in an advanced placement English class, and so passing out the scores, and everyone's kind of comparing scores, and I just kind of sank down in my chair, because all the scores that I kept hearing were significantly higher than mine, by 5 or 6 points. And so I think 32 or 33 is a perfect score on the ACT, and there were people in my class who were getting like 29s and 30s, which was really, wow, much, much higher than mine. And I remember feeling that day like, wow, this is, I want to go to college, I'm in this class, but my scores, I'm not a very good test taker. But I figured, well, I'm going to apply to college because I feel like I've worked hard, I have a good GPA, and so I'm not going to let this score define my capability. And so why did I choose the schools that I chose? I selected Ohio University to apply to, I applied to Ohio State, and I applied to Bowling Green. Not for any reason than just they seemed like good schools to go to. I didn't really do any homework, I didn't really do any research, and I didn't really have my family helping me with that because I just, they hadn't done it before. I think their thinking was more, just go somewhere and we'll just help figure out the financial aid and we'll make it work. And that was really their type of support, was we'll make it work, but their support was financial. And what I love so much when I'm looking at all the parents in here is that obviously, going to college, there's that financial element, but you're here, and that's huge because you're not only going to be helping financially, but you're helping emotionally and, educationally as you're here and you're willing to stand with your child or children and as they endeavor onto this journey. So I came to college. I came to pre-college, which is an orientation. I had to take placement tests. Those were not good either, so I'm just not a good test taker. I ended up having to take a remedial English or a remedial reading class. I scored really low on my reading tests. Had to take a remedial reading class. Again, in my dorm, it seemed like I was the only one who was having to take all these tests or having to take all these classes as a result of poor scores. But that's okay. So then people say, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd watched a Dateline or 60 Minutes or some type of evening news story about someone who had an injury and was working with someone helping them learn to walk again. And I figured out that was called a physical therapist. Okay, that sounds good. That's what I want to be. I want to be a physical therapist. And so I picked my major based upon, a Dateline. When I got to college, I realized, wow, I have to take science classes. Whoa, I hadn't really paid much attention in science. And so I had to take Chemistry 121. Again, most of my classmates had placed into the higher level chemistry. Well, that's okay, I'm over comparing myself with my classmates. I'm gonna take Chemistry 121. Well, college moves a lot faster than high school. And so what we used to do in maybe a week, we would do in a day. And they actually expected you to read. I was like, we had the books in high school, but they kind of just collected dust in your desk. And so we're studying for a test. I'm doing very poorly in this class. Studying for this test, and I'm studying with a classmate. And we're having a hard time getting this one concept. And she said, well, hold on, let me call my mom. She might be able to know. And I'm like, what? Your mom knows chemistry? How does your mom know chemistry? So these are just things that it never crossed my mind. Again, my mom was always very supportive, but she would send me care packages. So I was stocked with candy and apples and oranges and all that stuff. But to ask my mom a chemistry question, it was something I couldn't even relate to. So after that first quarter, I was 0.03 from being on academic probation. So I had to really kind of dig myself out of the hole that I put myself in college. I started sitting near the front of the class. It seems to be a very general, a very easy thing to do. But when you start college, or when I started college, some of the big classrooms, the big lecture halls that hold 400 people, it's cool to sit in the back. So, but all I ended up doing was look at other people, look at their mannerisms, look at who was not on their phone at the time, because we didn't have cell phones, and that wasn't that long ago. But I just started sitting in the front, and it's just such a simple thing to do that, if any tip when you all start college is sit near the front. You don't have to sit in the very front row, but within the first couple of rows, it just lessens so many distractions, and I started doing better. I also found a major that I liked that didn't require a lot of science classes. It was psychology, and it was just a different type of science. But when I sat in the Psych 101 class, it just really was interesting to me. And it was finally a topic that I was like, I want to know more about this. It wasn't just taking a class because I had a check sheet of classes I had to take. I was looking forward to the classes that I had to take. I also had a friend of mine who was working in a lab, who had identified a faculty member in the psychology department who was doing some interesting research and would allow undergraduates to work in his lab and get to, I learned how to hook electrodes up onto people and measure things, and I got to wear a lab coat, and that was pretty cool. I would purposely walk down to the bathroom just because I was in a lab coat and looked very formal and professional. And so when I met with my advisor, who wasn't this person in the lab, and I wanted to go into clinical psychology. So by this time, I had figured out, and I think I always really knew, but I figured out I wanted to do something and I wanted to help people. I wanted to work in some type of a counseling field. I always felt like I had this secret sticker on my face that said, if you have a problem, come talk to me. Even people I didn't know would just start talking to me on flights or anywhere. It's just before I knew it, people were pouring their guts out, and I'm kind of helping them through this. So I always kind of knew. And my advisor looked at my GPA and said, "You're never going to get in." And it really kind of crushed me because I had worked really hard. I knew I had started off bad, but I would dig myself out of that hole, and I kept getting good grades. But it's really hard when you start so low. And so I started working with a faculty member who I was working in his lab, and started to try to figure out, okay, well, maybe it's not clinical psychology, but there are other programs out there where I can start working and I can help people that maybe fit me better, but I just wasn't aware of what the program is called. And it ended up being rehabilitation counseling. So that's where I went to Chicago. I got into graduate school, which was a huge accomplishment. I moved to Chicago, and for those of you that get to go to Chicago next week, how many of you have been to Chicago who are going? Oh, well, it's in your packet, so I guess I may have let the cat out of the bag, but you're going to Chicago, so it's in the packet. Okay, well, for those of you that are going, it's a fantastic city. Kind of off to the side, you're going to go to the Hancock Building, and I can tell you the best view from the Hancock Building is from the bathrooms. So I'm not joking. The windows go all the way down to your floor, and there doesn't seem to be, everyone's in the observatory room, and then you got to kind of look over people's shoulders. No one thinks to just go to the bathroom. The windows go all the way down to the floor, and you can get the best view. So just so you know. Also, Garrett's popcorn is outstanding. It makes Oprah's list all the time, well, before she retired. So anyway, I went to Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago, and I majored in rehabilitation counseling. And I finally found my groove, and I got a 4.0 in my whole graduate program. And there was something about it that connected to me, and working with people with various types of disabilities and help them get back into the workforce. And then I was encouraged I graduated, and I was encouraged by a former faculty member to start my PhD in counseling. And so it brought me back to Athens. And while I was really into what I was learning, I still didn't quite feel like I belonged in a PhD program. I had always struggled. And again, I was next to the people that always had those high test scores. My graduate programs never required the GRE, which is an exam that you have to take to get into graduate school, which was good because my GRE scores, again, as you might guess, were very, very low. But what I got from my doctoral program and just every day was that every day I was still there. And then I would get my papers back, and I got decent comments. And I was like, okay, someone must think that I belong here. Someone must think that I deserve the right to be here. And I started letting that message come into my mind, that I deserve to be here. And I hope that that's something that you all, as you start to go into college, that you deserve to be there. And that they don't just hand out the bachelor's degree or the master's degree or the PhD. You have to work for it. But you've made it this far, and so you'll continue to make it through. So I really wouldn't be where I am without the types of support, the financial support, but also the emotional support and the educational support. And so I think as I just start thinking about this, and anything you might take from this talk and my story, is the importance of critical thinking. Why is what you're learning important? And not saying, why do I have to take this math class? When am I ever going to use this information? That's not what I mean. But I mean, what's the purpose? And try to really think about that. And in this world, if you don't know something, what might you do? Google it. Google it. Or look it up. You don't have to be satisfied with just not knowing. You have the capability to know. And you're here and you're in this program, so there's also a willingness to want to know. The self-confidence that I deserve to be in college, that I earned the right to be there just like everyone else. But I was also open to feedback, that if someone could help me be better, then I would listen to that, because I was still learning. And just kind of recognizing where I had come and thanking the people that were around me. And so from here, I'm hoping that as you start your college careers or you continue through Upward Bound, that you start to embrace your own story and not, as you get into settings where maybe you were the person with the lowest test score, or you were the one who maybe was bullied, or you don't feel like you quite belong there, that you do, because you are there. And when you get to college, to take advantage of it, not just educationally, but colleges and universities have a lot of things to do. Go to the sporting events or go to the arts events. Make friends with the people in your dorms. They're going to be lifelong friends. And get involved with research if that's something that's of interest. Communicate with your faculty members. Tell them who you are, because you might be asking them later on for letters of recommendation and for help as you continue on your journey. So with that, I wish you all the very best of luck and congratulations as you continue on to college, and thank you very much for letting me share my story.
Thanks, Dr. Patterson. At this time, I would like to introduce the Bridge students for their salutatory addresses. We're going in ABC order. So first off, we have Sarah Gamble.
I'm gonna take this off. Okay. So, hey guys. Okay. I would first like to start out by thanking my mom and dad, Kellen, my best friend Ricky, Sarah, Matea, Jess, and Micah, my first and last roommate during the program, Presley, the Fantastic Four, my fellow Bridge students, Miss Yaya, Aaron, and Phil, my little sisters, and lastly, Miss Jordan, for pushing me to achieve my goals. They have all made a huge impact in my life, and I don't think I would be the person I am today without them. So my first year, I became best friends with my roommate Presley. She's like my sister now. And my second year, I became really close with Jessie, Matea, and Chloe, which we were known as the Fantastic Four. My third year, I became best friends with my fellow Bridgers, Carissa, Ty, and Jordan. But out of the 3 summers I have been here, this summer has been by far the most stressful. It's definitely had its ups and downs, but I learned to make the best out of it. I learned to step up and be a leader for my little sisters and my family. I learned that life is not easy and can sometimes be unfair, but you have to make the best out of it because you never know how long you have. I learned that being a college student is not easy, but most importantly, I learned that I had the most amazing friends here. We've all been through a lot this summer, and without each other, some of us would have already gone home. This program has been very beneficial for me. It was probably the best thing I could have done for myself. Without this program, I feel like college would have been a lot harder. I can officially say that I'm ready to go to college and move on with my life. I would just like to say that I am very proud of all the students that stuck it out until the end, even when they really wanted to go home. But I would also like to encourage all of you guys to come back next summer. It will definitely be worth it in the end. Keep holding on.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, we have Jordan Harding.
Good afternoon. The guy you see standing up here today is not the same one that walked into Perkins Hall 2 summers ago, getting ready to start his first summer at Upward Bound. I vividly remember filling out the application and wondering what this program was going to do for me. Never did I think it would change me as a person, my future aspirations, and my life forever. Before I joined Upward Bound, I was relatively quiet, somewhat antisocial, and not very good at making new friends. I wasn't outgoing, and I was scared to branch out and try new things. I was afraid to speak out and express my opinions without worrying about what others thought of them. So you can imagine my discomfort when I saw dozens of people that already knew each other on my first day, and I didn't know anyone at all. Ultimately, that all changed after 2 summers there. I had new experiences and people put in front of me, and there wasn't anything I could do to stop it, so I decided to come out of my shell. These summers have shaped me into a better person, the person I am today. And that's what I hope can happen to any of you after 1 or 2 summers here at Upward Bound. I hope you step out of your comfort zone like I did. In the words of Miss Ayanna Jordan, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. And that's what this program is about, growth, finding yourself, figuring out what you want to do with your life, and getting ready to step out into the real world after leaving the safety net that is your home. Because that's what this program did for me. I now know that when I go off to college, when I finally leave my home, that I'll be just fine because I was prepared by Upward Bound to face things like that. For you students that finished off your first or second year, I have some advice. First off, consider strongly coming back next year. We all know this year was a rough one, and that happens sometimes. Things may not go the way you want them to in life. That doesn't mean you should stop trying. I've been in that situation in this program before, where I wanted to go home. But remember that you're not in this alone. You have 50 other students to help you get through the summer, including a group of staff members and instructors that are always here for you when you need them. Next, try to outweigh the negative experiences with the positive ones from this past summer. If you can't, come back anyway. I understand that some of you had a rough first summer. Believe me, I've been there before. But try and wipe the slate clean and give this program another chance. And lastly, don't be afraid to come out of your shell. Jump into the madness, have fun, and leave with no regrets. In conclusion, I would like to thank my family, my TMs and family heads, and my instructors for keeping me in check and helping me get through these past 3 summers. I would also like to thank Ms. Jordan for pushing me my first year to finish the summer out. And last, I want to thank my fellow Bridge students, Ty Hatfield, Presley Wallingford, Sarah Gamble, and Carissa Jones. And of course, even though they weren't Bridge students, I would like to thank Micah Thomas and Jessica Sayer for as much of our little family as we are. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have made it through this program. You've been there to pick me up when I've been down and give me a push when I needed it. I would never want to spend my bridge year with anyone but you guys, so thank you. To end this speech, I leave you with a quote from Richard Bach. Don't be dismayed at goodbyes. A farewell is necessary before you can meet again, and meeting again after moments or lifetimes is certain for those who are friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Next up, we have Tyler Hatfield.
Can you hear me? Okay, first of all, good afternoon. How are you? Okay, first of all, I want to dedicate this speech to my mom because I had to do a graduation speech, and for some reason I didn't want my mom to come. But Mom, this speech is for you. I love you. Bridge. What can I say? It's best explained as a time in between high school and entering college as a freshman. It's supposed to be a time that's fun and that you would never forget. I would say that this is very true. But for all of us Bridge students, it was, but in all the wrong ways. Now, I'm not saying that we didn't have fun along the way, but for the most part, our experiences were not pleasant at all. In life, there are a lot of negatives and positives, and what you can choose to focus on. During my recent experiences in the last 6 weeks, I've learned a lot. There are a lot of positives that came out of very, very negative situations. I've learned a lot about trusting in myself and what I know is right instead of doing what I'm instructed to do that is wrong. That you always should go with your gut feeling. I've learned about trusting in people. I've learned about how inappropriate people can act during situations and how they deal with it. A very important lesson that I've learned is that in the end, if you believe, you can achieve. Also that the power of one can be great, but a power of one, another one, and many more can be even greater. When you come together as a group, mountains can be moved. In essence, believe in yourself and teamwork goes a long way. This year's theme was discovering your potential. When I first thought of this theme, I wasn't really sure what to think or how to relate it to something, but now I know what to relate it to. Discovering how much you can take before you break, how much you can push, where someone can push you until you push back. The extent of what you're willing to go to do something that you know is right. A test of discovering your beliefs and trust. In all of this, I've discovered a lot that I never expected to. But in the end, I will take the positives away from the negatives and focus on them. I will take the negatives and I will learn from them. Through all that we've been through this year, we can finally say we did it. I'm very proud of you if you're listening to me speak at graduation. I want to thank each and every student for not giving up on Upward Bound, because it is a great program. I could not go into how much this program has helped me. Although the things I've accomplished could have been done by myself, Upward Bound has played a key role in my development of my life. I remember coming here my first year and saying, wow, I don't know what I'm doing here. Why am I here? I don't know if I can do this. I remember being scared and a very inverted person before I was at UB. Upward Bound has taught me a lot about myself and the world. Through UB, I've met people and have experiences that I never would have done before. In the end, I'm very grateful for this program. Every year at UB is a different experience that has different outcomes. I believe that each and every one of you students should come back next year, some as returners and some as bridge students. I want to thank Ms. Jordan for accepting me into this program, and for always being there for anybody, no matter what problem they had. I want to thank my mom and dad for allowing me to participate in this program. I want to thank them for their unconditional love and support in whatever I decide to do. I also want to thank the Upward Bound teachers and staff that helped me along the way. You know who you are. I want to thank everybody else that has helped me either directly or indirectly, and most importantly, I want to thank God. I want to give personal shout outs to Carissa Jones, Sarah Gamble, Presley Wallingford, Jordan Harden, and Micah Thomas. I've known these people for the last 2 to 3 years. I'm very thankful for these people. I don't even know what I'd do without these people. I wouldn't want my family away from my family anywhere else. Okay, I lied. There's one more person. Jessica Sayre. I did forget you, Jessica. We've only spent the last 6 weeks together, but she is a part of the family too. Within families, there's always fights, but at the end of the day, we always love each other. Every single day at UB was great, just to know I could have someone to rely on, no matter what my problem was. I wouldn't change these people for anybody else. Through all that we've been through in the last 6 weeks, it's just brought us closer. Thank you guys. My message of the speech is to say, keep holding on. Hold on to what you believe in, what you practice. Hold on to moving forward and having a prosperous life. Never and never, I say never, shut down and always stand up for what you believe in and what is right. For this is the end of my speech. There's one person this year that I can say has really showed me something. This person, through all they've been through, they kept moving on. This student showed me that no matter what happens to you, you just gotta keep pushing forward. I leave this student with a quote, and not remembrance of what you've lost, but in remembrance of what you overcame. By that I mean, remember the triumphs and not the falls. Thank you.
I have to brag on Tyler a little bit. He has grown so much as far as him saying speeches. So I know that was one of his challenges that he would love to overcome, and he did very, very well. Give him one more round of applause. Next up, we have Carissa Jones.
Hello, everyone. It's going to be tough to follow all these great speeches, but I'm going to give it a shot. Summer. A season, a time, a memory. This summer has been a very interesting one, to say the least. From tears to laughter, joy to pain, this summer has been one of many ups and downs. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Good things come to keep us happy, but bad things come to remind us what happiness truly is. If life was just fun and games, we wouldn't appreciate it. For every purpose, there is a time and season. This season is one of discovering potential. Over the past 3 years, the journey to my potential has not been the easiest one, but the best things in life are never easy. The best things in life are the ones you must work the hardest for, because those will be the most rewarding ones in the end. Upward Bound has definitely been one of those things. When I first started Upward Bound, I was very shy and uncertain of myself. I was scared to move out of my comfort zone and didn't think I had much to offer. Through the words of Miss Jordan, I was able to grow as an individual. This program has opened many positive doors in my life, including a full ride to this wonderful university, which I had never seen myself going to when I first started. If I had one piece of advice for the future generations of Upward Bound, I would say don't follow your heart. Your heart can be deceived. Follow your faith. Believe in your dreams and yourself, and you can do whatever you put your mind to. I'd like to say thank you first and foremost to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I've been through so much this year, and I know I would not have made it through without him. Secondly, I'd like to thank my family for their love and support through the good and the bad. Of course, this includes my Upward Bound family. I care about each and every one of you students. In a way, I think of you like my younger siblings. No matter how angry you make me, at the end of the day, I'll always love you. I'd also like to personally thank Tyler, Jordan, Presley, Sarah, Micah, and Jessica. You guys know everything that I've been through this year, and honestly, I could not have made it through this summer without you guys. I love you. In conclusion, I'd like to leave you with a simple statement. That's not the statement, guys. Your dreams are reality waiting to happen. Make them happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Carissa. And finally, we have Presley Wallingford.
Hi, everybody. An anonymous author once said, "Hard times don't last forever, but true friendships do." While participating in Upward Bound for 3 years, I have come to realize that this quote is true. This program has had its hard times, but ultimately through the tears and the fighting, bonds between everyone are formed. And like the quote, these bonds cannot be severed. With that being said, I would like to take a couple minutes to reflect on some memories, lessons, and bonds I have made during my time participating in UB with all of you. To start things off, I was kind of shy during my first year. Scratch that. I was really shy. I didn't really know anyone except for my fellow Fenton Countyans. I was afraid to meet my first roommate, Sarah Gamble, because I thought there was a high chance that we wouldn't get along. Boy, was I wrong. As the year progressed, we became best friends. At night, we sang to 80s music, vended, and helped each other with homework. She also introduced me to some of my other best friends, which were her friends to begin with, and I began to slowly break out of my shell. I met new people like Jordan, Carissa, and Ty, and they became my best friends too. I learned so much that first year, and because of that, it helped me shape me to become the person I am today. Then, during the second year, I thought I wasn't going to learn much. Again, boy, I was wrong. I gained even more friends and learned how to make it through college. I learned procrastination is definitely not the answer. My workload increased, and to me that meant a lot less sleep and long nights. Don't do that. Don't. In the end, I still grew more. Lastly, the third year came. It was the most emotional one for me yet. I started developing bonds with everybody here. I learned to cherish everything because I knew I would never know when something was gone. I learned this because of dear friends leaving and how fast this program went by this year. And I made best friends with Jessica Sayer and the rest of my fellow Fenton Countyans. And with all that being said, I would like to give thanks to a few people. Firstly, I would like to thank God, because through Him all things are possible. Next, I would like to thank my parents and my siblings, because obviously I wouldn't be here without them. I would like to thank my first and last roommate, because she helped me through so much and was always there for me. I would like to thank my fellow Bridge students, because they helped me through so much too. We became the best of friends, and I am so thankful for that. I would like to thank all the new friends I made over the past couple years. They helped me through everything too. They made me laugh when I was in tears. They made my days better. I would like to thank some of the staff from the past and the present Upward Bound. You know who you are. I would like to thank UB for making me college bound, because without them I would be so lost. And lastly, I would like to thank all of the students here. I have made so many new friendships with you, and you will always have a special place in my heart. Have a great day, everybody.
Will the Bridge students stand up, please? For everybody in this room, this is the epitome of what Upward Bound is. When you graduate and you're about to go into college, these guys have been through a lot, and I want us to give them a hand of applause again, because they have been awesome. At this point, I'm going to invite our board member, Dr. Valerie Conley, to help us hand out the Bridge Leadership Awards. First up is Sarah Gumbo. Sarah. Tyler Hadfield. Jordan Haddon. Carissa Jones. And Carissa will be going to OU on the Templeton. The Templeton is one of the highest scholars OU gives. It's a full ride. She's going to be paid to go to school. So give her a round of applause for all the hard work. And then last but not least, Miss Presley Wallingford. Presley will also be going to OU on a King Chavez Parks Award. That's a very prestigious scholarship award also. So let's give them a hand of applause, and a hand of applause to all the great students. Thank you, Dr. Conley. At this point, like we said, the summer has been rough, but just like in college and in life, we still have to go. So for the students who excelled in their classes, this is the time we award them with recognize them for all the hard work they put in and all the effort they've also provided, asking their teachers questions, following up with homework, turning homework in. It's all part of the college experience. And like Dr. Patterson said, it goes really fast. What you used to do in a week, you do in a day. Some of you have had your parents call and ask about homework. Well, this is college prep. It's not like high school. We expect you to read, we expect you to do the work. But this is the time we recognize you. We don't expect everybody to be an A student, but we expect you to put in the effort. So within every class we have different categories. Academic achievement, most improved from the time they started the program to the end of the program. And then citizenship, because we always have those 1 or 2 students in the program who are helping above and beyond in their classwork and in the coursework. So this is the time we are going to study that. So the students, when I call your name, just come up and get your award from your instructor. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Goodman to come up and give the awards for her English class. First up, for academic achievement, it's Chloe Music. Academic achievement, Josh Parker. For most improved, Matea Crawford. Most improved, Rebecca Hamner. For citizenship again, Josh Parker. And then for citizenship, TJ Parker. TJ, paid off. Sorry, TJ Carpenter. There you go, TJ, paid off. Thank you, Mrs. Goodwin. Now, I'd like to invite Mrs. Stowe up to give her awards for her English class also. For academic achievement, Martina Sieber. Michaela Allison for academic achievement. And then for Dallas Cottle, academic achievement. Thank you, Mrs. Stowe. Alright, now Dr. Balak, chemistry. All the kids hate chemistry because they have to do lab reports and all this stuff. But Dr. Balak is fun because she makes chemistry fun. We call her Dr. Becky around this part. So, for Dr. Becky's class, for academic achievement, Jessica Sayer, where are you? TJ Carpenter, academic achievement. Haley Hurst, academic achievement. Is Haley here? I don't think she didn't show. Okay, and then Michaela Allison, academic achievement. For most improved, Michaela Pope. And then most improved, Mr. Jude Tampak. Where is Jude?
You improvement over last year. Congratulations.
And then most improved, Xavier Newsom. And then for citizenship, we have William Koppelcom. And then we have William Dutcher, aka Bob Dutcher. Thank you, Becky. Next up is Mr. Xenos. For Algebra 1, Haley's not here today, so we're going to skip over her. And then we're going to go to Algebra 2. Academic achievement for Algebra 2, Derek Hill. William Koppelcom. And then for most improved, Jude Tampak again. And then Andy Tracy. Thank you, Mr. Zinos. Now we're going to go on to pre-calculus with Mr. Showalter. For academic achievement, Joshua Parker. For most improved, Rebecca Hamner. Then for most improved, Jesse Clemens. And then for citizenship in pre-calculus, we have Miss Jessica Sayer. Mr. Showalter was also teaching calculus, so for academic achievement in calculus, TJ Carpenter. And then for citizenship, Chloe Music. Okay, thank you, Mr. Showalter. Alright, for academic achievement in CCPD, TJ Carpenter. Academic achievement, William Koppelcom. For most improved, Ashley Jordan. And then most improved, Derek Hale. For citizenship in CCPD, Mr. Micah Thomas. And then Ms. Dallas Cardone. We're going to move on to study skills and time management with Ms. Mock. For academic achievement in study skills and time management in Ms. Mock's class, Dallas Cardle. Academic achievement in SST and TJ Carpenter. For most improved, Ashley Jordan. And then Derek Hill for most improved. For citizenship, we have William Koppelcom. And then we have Ashley Jordan again for citizenship. Okay, so for civics, if I call your name, you're going to come up. I'll stand behind the podium and give you a award. So for academic achievement, Miss Chloe Music. Just come over. Academic achievement, Chase Goodwin. Academic achievement, Martina Sieber. For most improved, Michaela Allison. For citizenship, Rebecca Hamner. Lacey Short for citizenship. And then Miss Jessica Sayer for citizenship. I'm going to invite Mr. Brandon to come up for the residential awards. So basically, in the rice halls, outside of the schoolwork and all the stress, one key part of going to college is living in the residence halls. The friends you make, the people, they are going to be your support outside of your family. And we've had some really amazing young people this year. But these people we are going to mention have shown true leadership qualities. They've gone through it. They've been going through hard personal times, hard academic times, and they've just shown with their dedication to the program and their dedication to their fellow peers. So for leadership in the residence halls, Chase Goodwin. And leadership, Chloe Music. For most supportive student in the residence halls, Bob has been going through some really tough times this year. So Bob Jackson. And then Will Koppelkamp. And then we, at the end of each summer, we find one student in the residence halls who we've had to work with a lot, but who's also shown the willingness to work after we've done everything. So this year, that always goes to Miss Lacey Shaw. Thank you. Okay. Now we have a group of students here who we didn't forget about you. Your awards and certificates will be coming. If you don't get them here today, we're going to mail them to you. We have project-based learning, and basically we just throw the students into different groups, and we just have them do it themselves. We give them a criteria. They come up with everything they need to do, and then at the end of it, they present to people. Independent judges who are either part of Upward Bound or who are not involved in the project the students have been working on. So this year, the winners for our project-based learning was a fine arts group. The fine arts group basically had to figure out what it takes to get into the College of Fine Arts, why they wanted to get in there, and how they were going to get in there. And they did a very stellar job last night. So our judges picked them as the winners. I want these students to come up here and take a bow because they really put in an effort and their presentation was really awesome. We have certificates for them later. The first person, Kayla Tope. Anessa Wallace. Xavier Newsom. Michaela Pope. And last but not least, Alexis Oliver. We have one person who is part of the group, but she had to go home early for band camp, Katie Scarrett. So these are our winners for our PBL groups this year. They had a stellar presentation last night. So let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you guys. At this point, the moment we've all been waiting for, certificates of completion. for going through the 6 weeks. I would like to invite Ms. Maureen Kuhn, the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, to help us hand out these certificates. And this is huge because going through Apple Bond is not easy. First we have to select you to be here, and then you have to take classes at a college pace. It's not like high school. You have to deal with Mr. Zenos, Dr. Becky, Dr. Balag, well, Dr. Becky twice, Mrs. Goodman, Mrs. Stowe, people like me. But you guys, and then you come to the rest hall, and you have to follow rules and regulations. So for going through it, not everybody's able to do it because we've had some people leave. So you should feel accomplished being able to stick it out this past 5 weeks. So the first person is Michaela Allison. Alex Beck. Clay Bishop. Tessa Bias. Thomas Carpenter. Gina Castro. Jesse Clemens. Tanda Clunch. Dallas Cardle. Matea Crawford. Bob Dutcher. Sarah Gumbel. Chase Goodwin. Chrissy Brown. Michael Hamilton. Rebecca Hamner. Jordan Haddon. Tyler Hadfield. Kevin Harold. Derek Hill. Harrison Jones. Ashley Jordan. William Koppelcom. Alyssa McKee. Chloe Music. Xavier Newsom. Alexis Oliphant. Josh Parker. Michaela Pope, Jessica Sayer, Martina Seaver, Lacey Shaw, Micah Thomas, Drew Tempai, Kayla Tone, Andrew Tracy, Alex Tracy, Morgan Tucker, Nissa Wallace, and Jessica Williams. And then now we're going to recognize the staff for all the work they've put in also. Yes.
Presley.
Oh! Presley Wellington, please come up.
You forgot about me?
I didn't forget about you.
That's right. That's right.
So at this point, we're going to invite the staff. When I mention your name, please come up. Really, really appreciate all the hard work you guys have put in. Miss Jana Lyde. Mr. Azarka. Mr. P. Andrews. Miss Brianna Wong. Mr. Brandon Fulenkamp. Mr. D.C. Moore. Mr. Ted Palmer. Mr. Tony Sinos. Mr. Daniel Showalter. Mrs. Tara Stowe. Mrs. Michelle Woodward. And Dr. Becky Ballard. Well, Dr. Ballard teaches of we had 56 students here today, this year, and Dr. Balak had to have all of them in science. Being around chemicals is really difficult. She has some volunteers who help her out with it, and these volunteers, her TAs, have done a really remarkable job for us. They come on, volunteer for us, and they're at study tables, they're in the labs, making sure the kids are not getting hit. So, Rachel Marquette, please come on. Danielle Cervantes. Mr. Tapaj there. Mrs. Marie Hayden. Mr. Jeremy Shaw. And Ms. Olivia Thompson. And Dr. Becky wants me to mention Ms. Jana Leidig, who was at the UPL same team. So Jana Leidig. Thank you, Dr. Becky.
Looking for Rachel.
You guys want to do the house points? At this point, I'm going to hand it over to the Rest Life staff because they had a system going on for the family, so they're going to make the announcement.
Hi! So, as you know, Res staff, we did a house point system this year. So everything good you did and everything not so good, we were watching. I gave you points, therefore. Yes, and John with big drum roll.
Okay, so the top two families were with points were mine and Brandon, and they were only separated by 5 points. And the winners are my family.
So how much
Will my family stand up, all of you? Good job.
Thank you, Wrestling. So at this point, I want to thank all of you for coming today. I want to really thank our students for putting in the hard work, for making sure that they stuck to the program. I want to congratulate our Bridge students for going through Upward Bound for all 3 years. Some of you are about to, not all of you are going to end up at OU. I know a couple of you are going to Hawken. Ty and Jordan, we'll be following up with you there. So you check on you guys, see how you guys are doing. Congratulations once again. For those of you coming to OU, we'll be around. You come find us, and if you don't find us, we'll come find you anyway. For all the parents and family who are here, we really appreciate your presence here today. Without you, this program couldn't be what it is today. With your support, driving your students up and down, coming in during emergencies, during the storms, you all had to come in and pick up the students, bringing them back, driving back when students are sick. We really appreciate all the help and support you've given us. And then to our invited guests for helping us with this program today and for always being there when we've needed you, when we've come to ask for help. Really appreciate you all. And to all the Upward Bound staff, really appreciate all the hard work you guys have put in. There's been some sleepless nights. Actually, I need to recognize Mr. Brandon and Ms. Bremer. Please stand up. These two were the RDs in the building. They've had some sleepless nights, to say the least. We've been to children's, we've been at, name it, we've been there, and they've done it all. So thank you, really, thank you very much for all the hard work you guys have put in. Thank you. And then I know when I was reading the bridge speeches 2 nights ago, I saw one particular quote coming through, and this quote was attributed to Ms. Jordan, and it said, if you're not comfortable, you're not growing. As much a difficult time as you've had this year, I hope you've all grown out of it, because life is not always fair. Life doesn't always give you what you want. You just got to keep moving. And I hope you guys all learned that lesson this year. Sometimes decisions have to be made which you don't agree with, but they have to be made. I hope you guys understand that. If you don't, that was part of the lessons we're all learning this year. Really appreciate you all. Hope to see you during the academic year. And Ms. Mock is going to be showing a little slideshow about the trip to Chicago. But before she does that, everybody has their packet. We'll be calling you on Monday morning very early. The bus is going to be leaving at 11:30 p.m. If we give you a call, that means you need to be back in Athens at 9 o'clock. We'll be back in Athens Friday by 5 p.m. The instructors are the people who are good. If you did your work in class, you're going to get to go. If you didn't do your work, you know it. Don't blame me, or don't blame anybody, because we all need the criteria before we started. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means you need to work a little harder next time. And we're going to be here to help you work a little harder next time. That will be next year. So thank you all for coming. Ms. Bree is going to show the presentation of the places we are going to be going to in Chicago. And I know a lot of you have known we're going to Chicago for a while. It was by design. We didn't try to hide it this year because we wanted you guys to get amped for it, know where you were going. We didn't want to hide it this year. So if you were thinking, why did we know ahead of time? That's because we wanted you all to know the places we're going to go, research it ahead of time, and be amped for it and put in the effort in your classes. So thank you once again, and breathe in it. Yes. You guys are going to move into a new room. Just give me 1 second, okay? Hi, Mr. Jordan.